obviously the opportunity to get to represent your culture on a platform like rugby league is massive for us Africans.
It's That's Lit with me, Shazzy D, and we are talking sport today, specifically rugby league. Joining me on the show is the captain of Africa United Rugby League, Stimon Dow. Stimon, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Look, let's just start right off the bat with how you got involved with Africa United.
So I got involved with Africa United through a bloke named Steve Warwick. He ran a rugby league club out at PCYC Blacktown, that's what they were called at the time. And he was getting a massive flow of African young kids coming through and wanting to play rugby league at the club. So he had the great idea of why not start a African rugby league club that, you know, obviously open pathways and opportunities for these young African boys and girls to be able to represent their cultures. So the club kind of started as an idea in his head, and then in 2012, it officially became a thing. We competed at our first Harmony Nines competition. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be a part of that team because I was counted as a representative player. I played at North Sydney Bears, SG Ball. I was a part of that squad, so I couldn't play, but a few of the boys, Jaden Okumbo, he played for the Bulldogs. Him and his brother and a few of the other boys played in that team as well. So it started in 2012 as just a nines team, which obviously has grown now into something a bit bigger.
And so just focusing on you just a little bit.
Yeah.
Were you always into rugby league? Have you always been a fan, or did you kind of come into it from a different sport?
So being Sudanese and having a Sudanese mother, soccer was always the thing. So we moved in 2004. First game of rugby league I watched was Bulldogs versus Roosters grand final in 2004. So I was like, I think I like this sport. It's more physical. Obviously, I played soccer, but I was very physical when I played school soccer. So I was getting yellow cards, red cards, all those things, and I was just like, soccer's definitely not for me. I'm too physical for it. Yeah, I can score goals, I can do this, but I was getting a lot of red and yellow cards, and it was frustrating me. So my mates at school were playing rugby all the time, and I sort of got to know the game a bit more. And my mum always turned it down. Mum said, no, you're not playing rugby, soccer, basketball, that's it. So a couple of years, we kept on going back and forth about it. And then finally when I was 14, one of my friends' mum, Leonie Horder, her son was Tom, they picked me up and said, we'll talk to your mum. So she convinced my mum, and that's where the journey started, under 14s. Rugby league for Blacktown workers, and from there I haven't looked back since. So
Amazing. So from then on, you found your way into Africa United.
Yep.
Tell us about the team. What's it like since you joined?
So it's really good. So the boys and I, we obviously like to have a lot of fun. So when we get to training together, you know, we do penalties and we do so we do challenges during the sessions and everything. So it's really fun. The boys get around it. Obviously, the opportunity to get to represent your culture on a platform like rugby league is massive for us Africans, because you don't really see much Africans running around in the NRL and all these things. So to be able to put on a jersey that allows you to represent your family and all those things that are important to you is sort of massive for us. So just to be able to do that is a big thing for us and the boys.
What countries are they from?
So our boys from obviously Sudan, South Sudan, the Congo, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Nigeria, Zimbabwe. We have a few boys from Zimbabwe. We have some South African boys. So we pretty much cover the whole of Africa. If you go through and go, have you ever had a player from this country? We could definitely go, we've had someone from this country play for the team. So it's just a massive scope. So when we played at North Sydney Oval, we actually represented 11 nations.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's really cool. It's really cool to go from there,
Yeah. And so you mentioned that this kind of started out of the PCYCs, correct?
Yeah.
Do you find, I guess, maybe the kids who kind of started from there, were they also all from like different kind of sporting backgrounds and kind of just found, maybe a place to all come together with this team?
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said, I mentioned earlier, like it started with Steve. So Steve got 2 kids one week. Then the next week, the kids are like, Steve, can you drive the bus and can we go pick up my cousin? Then he rocks up to our cousin's house and 5 kids are getting into the bus. So it kind of just started as 2 kids came down to the club, and the next thing you know they go and pick up some cousins, and 5 other kids jump in the bus too because they want to have a go at rugby league. So yeah, it just kind of started as a little passion thing, and and we've travelled a bit. We've been to London,
Oh,
so
no way.
we won the London Nines comp in 2019. So
Congratulations.
we played there. We've won the Cabramatta International Nines as South Sudan. So yeah, we've done a few. We've done a few things over the years, and obviously, we want to see it grow more and turn more than just a thing. We want it to be at that rep level where we're recognised as a proper representative team that can play on big stages and everything. So yeah.
Yes, and speaking of big stages, I
Yep.
know coming up is an OzTag trial.
Yeah.
So that's happening in Coffs Harbour, if I
Yep.
have that
Yep.
correctly.
Yep.
Is this something that your team is kind of aiming to build into
Yeah.
that as well?
Yeah. So the OzTag has obviously always been a thing that's been thrown in and out of there, and we've spoken about it and everything. And yeah, finally this year we have the massive opportunity to have the first ever African OzTag team competes at the Tag Internationals in Coffs Harbour. So yeah, we're just trying to open up more scope. We're trying to give more opportunity because we know some of our African parents are not really a fan of their young people playing the physical side of rugby league. So to be able to give them the opportunity to represent the African heritage by playing OzTag as well, then we'll push for that as well. So that's always been something in the works. So big shout out to Mohammed Bar. He's been a real big push behind it. He's the bloke that's really taken the wheel and done that for us, because myself and Steve, it's a lot running the rugby league stuff on his own. So for Mohammed to come in and really push for it, so big shout out Mohammed if you're watching this.
I mean, look, the last time I played OzTag, I'll just be very honest, was in high school and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's lots of fun. And, the non-tackle aspect for me is
Yeah.
also like a really good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
But as I was doing some research, finding out that Coffs Harbour will be hosting like the World
Yep.
Cup
Yep.
for it
Yep.
next year, if
Yep.
I have that correctly.
Yep.
How good is it that,
Yeah.
Australia really represents like really well when it comes? I mean, it's
Yeah.
OzTag, but
Yeah.
like to really put it on the world stage, like
Yeah.
how cool is that?
Nah, 100%. Yeah, that's where the opportunity for us Africans to jump into that sport as well and show what we can do is a massive opportunity. So yeah, the boys are fired up. They're ready to go. So we'll see how they go.
How have you seen the team members in Africa United benefit from being part of this team?
I think for us, Africa United has become family away from family. So when I look at the club and how Steve and I have built it over the years, we sort of wanted to have that home feeling. We want the boys to come in, and it's like a brotherhood. It's a family. It's more than just rugby league. Yeah, rugby league is the reason why it brings us together, but just to be able to sometime, like for an hour, forget about all your worries and come down to training, have fun with your brothers, get around it. I think that's the big thing for us, is we want this to be a long-lasting thing, and if we make rugby league just purely the focus of it, then we've lost the vision of why we started this club. And this club was started to help support, obviously at the time it was for young adults, the youth and everything, just to help them sort of stay away from all the stuff that was happening around in the community, all the violent stuff, all the police stuff. This was sort of started to say, this is how we're going to keep our young African males in line. So we obviously have a few boys who have obviously been in prison and juvenile centers and all that kind of stuff, and they always seem to find their way back to us because a lot of them, their connection is with the club, the family that we've built there. So that was the big goal, is we want to create a club where obviously you can represent your culture in a sport that you love, but also to be able to just escape from the realities of life and be able to come and just be yourself for that 1 hour is massive for our boys.
Is there a particular story or a memory, that comes to mind when you think about your team from when you started that kind of makes you really proud to be part of this team?
Yeah, well, I think back to the first time I got to captain the team. This was 2013. I just had finished my HSC and went home straight away, packed up my clothes. Mum dropped me off to PCYC and she asked Steve 100 questions about where you taking my son, when will you be back, how long are you gone for, and all that, and all those things. And obviously my mum got the answers that she was happy with, and she let me go on the trip. But I always remember that Queensland trip with the boys as a foundation moment for us. That really put us out there to the world that, you know, like we're here and we're here to stay in this game. So when I think about that, I think about our Queensland trip with the Africa United boys. This was under 18, so, and a lot of us now are hitting our 30s, and you know, we're still running around and trying to push this club forward. But yeah, that's one thing I really think about. And then also our trip to London. When I think about that, winning that London Nines comp, no one really looked at us as a threat in the competition. But at the end of it, to be able to lift that trophy and you know, like we created an echo in the rugby league community when we did that, because we went there as underdogs. No one really knew anything about us. They just go, oh, African rugby league team from Australia, we'll just invite them, see what they're about. And to be able to go say we went there, lifted that trophy and put ourselves out there is a massive thing. So yeah, so I look at those two stories and go, those are foundation moments for us, and that's what's brought us to where we are today.
What would you like people to know? Of course, if they've not heard of you or are just finding out about you, what would you like them to know about your team?
Well, if you're watching out there, you're African, you play rugby league, you want to get amongst it, you can find us on Facebook, Africa United Rugby League. You can find us on Instagram. You can also find us on TikTok. Yeah, we're on there. If you love the opportunity to represent your culture, playing rugby league, a sport that you love, we're here. Or if you just want to get amongst it as a volunteer, you want to coach, you want to manage, whatever it is, we've always got plenty of opportunities for anyone to come in and jump aboard and help us.
How big of a role do you think sport in general can play in helping people, you know, a lot of us who've come here from different countries, but to find connection and to find community?
Yeah, well, I look at myself as an example, and I'm sure a lot of the boys can speak for it. Obviously, being of an African background, a lot of us get put in that stereotype of we're criminals, we're gangsters, or you know, they come from a broken home, they can't be no good. So when I think about the role that sport has played in my life, it's actually given me a safe space to be able to be myself, because obviously coming from a broken home, single mum to 8 kids, it's not an easy role, and being the oldest, obviously all the pressure's on you, everyone's looking at you, you slip one foot wrong, everyone's like, oh, yep, your siblings will follow what you do. So sport has always been an escape for me, and I think that's what it is for a lot of our boys, is the escape, to be able to just forget about all the responsibilities, all the worries that you have, and just sometime, you know, at that age, to just be a kid, to just be able to enjoy yourself, to be able to just go out and have fun with your friends. So when I look at sport and I look at our communities, it plays a massive role, because that's our getaway from all the responsibility, all the dramas that we have to deal with in life. So when I think about sport and what we're doing with rugby league and Africa and everything, it plays a massive role in who we become eventually, because you get around the right people at sport, they can help you, you know, reach whatever goal it is that you want to reach. So yeah, so that's the role of sport in my life that I've seen, and I've obviously seen in a few of the boys' lives as well. So yeah.
Yeah, like beyond just winning games, which obviously we all want to win, and I think it's always great, you know, that validation that you put in this work, you've won.
Yeah.
But what is kind of the bigger goal, the bigger vision for Africa United in the future?
So our big goal is like we've started a few clubs out of Africa United Rugby League. So we've started the South Sudanese Buffaloes. Obviously, the goal for that is one day that a club like the South Sudanese Buffaloes will compete at a World Cup. You know what I mean? So that's like when we talk bigger picture, we talk about helping produce that talent to take us to that next level. We're looking at, you know, bringing Nigeria Rugby League into it this year at the 9. So just to be able to give everyone the opportunity to just represent who they are, what they stand for, and everything. So yeah, that's the bigger goal. Is we want to reach every single African athlete that's out there that wants an opportunity to represent their family, the opportunity to play the sport that they love, and to be able to say in their life, I've gotten to wear an African rugby league jersey, or South Sudanese rugby league jersey, or Nigerian rugby league jersey, or Ivory Coast, whatever the nation is, our goal is to give everyone an opportunity to be able to represent their family, their countries, on a platform like rugby league. And yeah, that's the big goal. And we'll keep pushing. I'll keep on pushing until the time is up and I have to pass the baton on to someone else. And obviously, same with Steve. But yeah, our vision is this will be something that will be around long after I'm gone, or when my kids are running around. I want my kids to wear an African Rugby League or a South Sudanese jersey one day and go, it started with me as a 17, 18-year-old kid who just jumped into it and didn't know where I was going to end up. But yeah, just opportunity. That's all we want, to give everyone an opportunity to represent and yeah, be a part of something like this.
If you would like to support Africa United, as Stimon said, hop onto the socials, find them online. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, we're always looking for sponsors. So if you want to sponsor the club, we have our sponsorship packages that you can look at. Obviously, we have front of jersey sponsors. Whatever it is, we have options tailored to whatever your business or organization wants to give towards Africa Rugby League. Because obviously, with a club like this, it doesn't run off just us going out and finding things. It also runs off the community supporting us, companies getting behind us, and just giving us those funds to be able to do more in the community and do more with this rugby league thing that we're doing. So if you want to sponsor us, reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok if that works for you. We're always here to have a chat and see how we can join together and make our vision become a reality.
It has been such a pleasure chatting with you, Stimon. Really appreciate you coming on the show, talking about Africa United. It's been great.
No, thank you for having me.
And thank you for tuning in to today's episode of That's Lit. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us on our socials. You can also leave a comment. Do you play OzTag? Do you play rugby league? What do you like about it? And do you find sport a great way to connect to your community? Let me know in the comments. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode.